Hello there, my name is Kenny Stahl, and to begin this video, I want to do a simple little exercise with you, and this won't take any effort at all. It's very simple and it's just to prove a point. So do this with me right now. What I want you to do is I want you to look around the room you're in. Just make observation. What do you see? So for me, if I were to do this, I'll look around and I say, okay, I see a poster over there on the wall. I see a couch right here. Okay, there's windows. Okay, there's a TV right here. I see my kitchen over there. And what I want you to do is I want you to just say them out loud. What do you see? And hopefully you're doing this right now, because once you have done it, I want you to pay attention to what you were thinking about as you were making these observations, as you were looking around the room. So what I'm confident to say is that what you were thinking about had nothing to do with what's going on in my life right now, what happened yesterday, what's going to happen tomorrow. You're not thinking about all the bills you have to pay, or all the chores you have to do, or the homework you have to do. You're not thinking about all these things that are going on in the back of your mind. So basically, the point that this exercise proves is it shows that when you're living in the present moment, if you're living in, the moment that is taking place right now, by using your eyes, by doing something, your focus is on the right now. It's not in the yesterday and tomorrow and what if, So the purpose of this is to allow ourselves to be more present, to live in the moment, to get out of our heads. So one of the things that I struggle with a lot is overthinking. Overanalyzing every little detail about my life, sometimes thinking about past events, sometimes I'm just wondering what's going on in the world, what are my friends doing, what are these other people doing, sometimes I'm thinking about myself, gosh, I'm such a loser, I hate myself, why do I have to be so stupid? So we get caught up in these thoughts, and what I've found is when you get lost in thoughts, when you're in your head, it stops you from being productive, from taking action, from doing something. And oftentimes that overanalyzing of things, sometimes that overthinking can manifest itself into fear and being afraid to do something, because sometimes we get comfortable just thinking and daydreaming and fantasizing about things, and that doesn't always help, especially for a person like me. I need to focus on what I'm doing. So I remember back when I was in high school, I would be in my head a lot. Instead of paying attention to the teacher when I was in school, in class, oftentimes I'd be thinking about the pretty girl that's sitting next to me, and I'd be like, oh man, I just want to say something to her to get her to notice me. Hi, my name's Kenny. What are you doing? Or hey, you want to go on a date? I'd always be thinking about what could I do, but I would never actually do certain things that I wanted to do. Sometimes I would think about imagining myself taking a certain course of action in the future, and I just never end up doing it. So so when you're living your life on a daily basis, when you're out in public, when you're at a party, when you're out somewhere, I think it's a very, very important thing to figure out how you can be living in that moment, and how you can experience what's going on right now, right? Because really all we have is the present moment. We live by each second, each moment of time. The future, is gonna come someday, but it's not here, right? So because the future is not here yet, we have to live right now. And sometimes we get so caught up in our head that we don't do things that our future self would be wishing that regretful that we didn't do them, right? So our future self would wish that we took a certain course of action today, but we never do it. So one thing that will help you make more exciting decisions in the current moment and to live in the moment is to do this other exercise that I did on my own. I just stumbled upon it by accident. One day, this is what happened. Okay, so one day I just wanted to make my life a little bit clearer to me. So I wrote down a list of all the things that I did the past couple of years. So some of the things that I wrote down were I graduated high school, I went to college, I got a girlfriend, I got a job, dropped out of college, maybe lost my job, maybe I would remember certain events like a big event, like a party or something that was that stood out to me, that was significant. And after I did this, I looked at the list I made and I realized that all the things that I listed were big things, like events, like big events, like life-changing events. And the things that I left out of that list, the things that I didn't write down, were the small things, the everyday moments that we have. You know, the everyday moments, you know, are what make up our life. You know, the big events, the graduating school, the getting a job, the getting a girlfriend or boyfriend, you know, those types of things only come around once. But it's all those little daily things that make up our life. And we forget about those in the long term. They're not as significant. So one of the cool things to do is to think about, how can I make this moment a memorable moment? How can I make this exciting and fun? Because I think that if you're in your head and you're lost in your thoughts, you're not going to have as much fun and excitement. So that's why you have to think, like, this is a little thing that you can do to kind of make your life more exciting. Is every moment when you find yourself getting in your head a lot, you think, what can I do right now that is going to make this moment memorable and exciting? What would my future self thank me for? What would my future self be proud of me for doing in this moment? Whether it's overcoming some sort of fear, stepping out of your comfort zone, that's a big thing. Because if you don't do that, you're going to be regretful in the future. You're going to live a life full of moments that you regret not doing what you wanted. So sometimes, here, let me just add this on at the end. When you are lost in thought, the best thing to do is to express yourself. The best thing you can do is to physically or verbally express yourself. So if you've got all these thoughts in your head, the one thing that I do the most commonly is I just have a journal. I write down what my thoughts are, and that gets my thoughts down on paper. I get them out, so I'm not thinking about them anymore, and I can move on to something else. Same thing, that's the purpose of these video blogs. I mean, this is like a video journal for me. You know, I get my thoughts out there, and it helps me, and it gets me out of my head. And then I can go on and do my chores that I have to do, you know. So another thing is, like, any kind of physical exercise thing, just play with something, you know. If you're bored, I mean, when you're bored, the worst thing to do is to just let yourself be bored. Find something to do, whether it's a small thing, you know, like cleaning, or you know, playing with something. You know, of course we got these computers and TVs where you can entertain yourself when you're bored, but like when you're like lost in thought and you got nothing to do, come up with something, physical thing. Make some observation. Just look around. Do the exercise I told you at the beginning. Just do whatever it has to do to get your focus away from all the little things that are in the back of your mind that you're worried about, all your fears, all your fantasies, and to get them onto what is taking place right now and live in the moment and be more aware of that. So I hope that this video talked about something that, you know, you were interested in, and hopefully it can help you. This is just coming from my own experience. So if you want to hear more from me, what else I have to say, make sure you subscribe to this channel if you're not already. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Twitter. The links to those are in the description. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this. And thank you for watching. I hope to see you in my next video. Remember, don't hate yourself. And that's it. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here.